Right, hello everyone, welcome to PRF1 Round 1 of the season. It's finally here. It feels like an age between seasons, doesn't it? But we are finally here at Bahrain in what's going to be, I am absolutely positive, an absolutely fantastic race. I think we got 15 on the grid at the moment, but I'm pretty sure there's two actually joining in qualifying, so I think we'll be up to 17. I know there's definitely one, but little disappointing not to have a full grid, but I know there's other things going on tonight which has probably affected that. But hey ho, we move on. We are getting going. It feels like it's been an age waiting for this to come round again. I've been looking forward to this one massively. So we are doing full qualifying because, as I said, there will be more joining, at least a couple more. So it's not a pointless first session at all. So the 15 at the moment is 15 that go through, of course. A couple of cars already coming out onto track, which is great, because we don't have to wait long. Looks like there's an Alfa Romeo out first. There we go. Just getting my bearings a little bit. There we go. Right, okay, so so first out on track then is Lennon. Gonna get the Alfa Romeo team a little bit of airtime. Precious for the airtime for the monetary rewards. Good car this season, the Alfa. Doing well in real life. Bottas doing brilliantly, and his young teammate Zhao is more recently showing what he can do. So I think if anything, it's really helped Bottas' career getting out of the Merc, go into Alfa. It's just always in the shadow of Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes, but the number one driver at Alfa without a doubt, and really showing what he can do. Who knows, could lead to another big chance for him in a big team at some point. But that's enough about real life Formula 1. We're here for PRF1 as Lennon comes through the final corner then to start our first flying lap of our first 2022 season. All about the exit out of the final corner. Carry as much straight as you can down the start-finish straight. Really attack that first part of the corner. Don't catch the inside curve because it'll pull you over. All look pretty good there from Lennon. Nice and tidy. So you pretty much say about every corner on the Bahrain track that every single corner is just about nailing the exit, really. Taking the speed through onto the straights all the time. Nicely, nice second. Quick on the power. There's probably the hardest corner on the track, the long left-hander. Braking while you're turning makes it difficult, particularly if you're not using ABS. So, what to say, Lennon's lap looking pretty steady, pretty good so far. So it's again another corner. It's so important to get the exit right. You have to take the straight line speed all the way down the straight and into the final corner with one of the longer straights of the season. Start finish straights. So this is where most passes are made during a race. It's a 31.5 to get us started from Lennon, so reasonable lap from him. I'm trying to get to the driver that's just about to cross the line if I can. There they are, it's the AlphaTauri of Gazelle. He goes 29.5 straight away. That's a very strong first lap. Michael J crossed on a 130.6. Goomba's done a 132.6. A couple of cars following each other down. So this is Demon. He's right in the back. Oh, he's into the pits. He was right back on the right on the back of the Aston Martin Effect of Defiance, who crosses the line on 33-1. Frozen coming around the last corner. There is a Red Bull crossing the line. Massey goes into P1 with a 29.5 as well. It's 400 faster. Frozen into P3, 130.3. Really starting to get some lap times on the board. Rapid Pajala, 130.2 goes P3. Good start to the season for him. Nice strong first lap. Dark Lord then up to a 30.7, which puts him P6. And I think that next car... Yeah, so the next car coming round is the Alfa Romeo of Lennon, who will be heading into the pits. There's a Haas behind him. There's only one Haas at the moment, so that's Apex. We've had someone join. I think it is Apex that's joined us, so both Haas running a bit late. Whoa, Matex, you're a legend, man. Thank you so much. Absolute legend. Oh, look, Runner. Matex has gifted you a sub, which means you won't have to watch the adverts anymore. Still love that. Absolute legend, Matex. Thank you so much, man. So kind of you. Most of those guys are guys on track, so they may not realise that straight away. Apex, in a way, only one I believe to be on a hot lap at the moment, so we'll stay with him. Broadcast. I must say the cockpit camera is very, very loud in my ears. We'll watch on that one. We've just jumped up another driver. I have no idea who it is. Trying to work it out, but no. I think it might have been Clem. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it might have been Clem. I didn't notice his name before. So Apex heading down then towards the final corner. Round he goes, heading towards a reasonable lap, I think, to start off the first lap of the season. So yeah, 130.3 puts him P4. So actually a pretty decent lap there from Apex. Here's Big D. He's on night lap. Just going to check some of these guys, just see if they're actually going again. Looks like Massey is. Just heading up towards the end of Sector 2. Better idea through here. Yellow flag, nothing to worry about. It's the other Red Bull just getting out of somebody's way. And Massey is quarter of a second up, so he's heading to a low 29. I do think we'll end up seeing that pole position, which is in the 28 somewhere. So, heads down towards the line. Across he comes, 29.4 then. Lost a bit of time in the final sector, but still improved slightly. I think he can feel comfortable that he's through now. Frozen's into the pits. Let's go down then to Big D, who's coming towards the end of Sector 2 now. Definitely gonna have to make you a VIP or something, Matex, aren't I? You're a serious legend, man. So, rounds the final corner. What sort of time can he put in for his first season? It looks reasonably competitive. Yeah, 29.5. I thought it was looking good at the final corner. So actually only just misses out on P1 by 3 hundredths of a second, really. That was Greza going fastest, 28.9, so we're already into the 28s in Q1. Master Revan, 29.8, puts in P5 for the moment. That's some lap from Greza in Q1, I have to say. Didn't need to do a lap anywhere near that quick. We've got an extra one joined, so we're back up to 18 now. That's Hambo. He's a man to watch out for already on the night lap, according to that. No, that's not him. Why is it not showing Hambo? The track map says it. Oh no, it doesn't say he's on night lap. It says he's in the pits. Sorry, that's my eyes. I'm getting on a bit, guys. So that's my eyes. That is. Spreader last year's runner-up in the championship after leading pretty much the whole way. Just didn't lead for the last couple of races. So had a brilliant, fantastic season last season. Took the Constructors' title with Aston and the McLaren this season. Let's get off of the cockpit because I can't even hear myself think. His teammate exits the pits, stays well out of the way. Let's see what sort of time spreader can put on the board early doors. So I've started. Obviously, as we get a bit later into the first session, it's going to be more about the guys that are on the sort of brink getting through, rather than guys at the front. So we give some intentions, and that 28.9 from Greza is a massive intention, and really shows what he can do. It's like he's really getting to grips with the 22 cars. Spreader then around this sweeping left-hander. Got to be careful of this in the race, this left-hander. It's there comes a point with the tyres where they start to go a little bit, and it gets a little bit trickier, that left-hander. I always tend to start just short shifting up to 6th, just to add an extra little bit of traction. So go into the final corner then. And I think it's going to be a decent time. Yeah, in fact, he's gone fastest as well. 28.960. Spreader says to Greza, whatever you could do, I could do better. Demon up towards the end of sector 1. So Demon, the driver last season, really showed he can fight up the top. A consistent top 5 finisher last season. So, expecting good things from him this year. Hopefully he's got in used to the 22 cars pretty well. Yeah. Evening, Mr. Well. Thanks for joining, mate. No, I don't want to buy followers and all that stuff. Go away. Muff off. Message. So, Demon out to the final corner again. Looks like he's going pretty quick. I think it's going to be another decent lap. And it's a 29.6, pushing P7 for the moment. And I would suggest probably safe. I would expect Hambo to be going safe on his first lap. Bearing any issues. So Hambo is our current champion. Showed immense pace on the 2021 game. We'll see if he's carrying that into 22 yet. Maybe he hasn't had as much game time as a lot of the other drivers on 22 because he was on holiday, I believe, for a couple of weeks. So maybe playing catch up a little bit at the start of the season. Probably get a good idea here. The time we're on going through the final corner would suggest it's going to be a decent time. It's a 29.1, puts in P3, so don't look like he's playing too much catch up, does it? Clem's still in the pits. How long has he got? 4.5 minutes. I would expect Clem to be climbing up the table as well if he comes out. So at the moment, Raratron and Fatal Defiance in trouble in the drop zone. Lennon, the one in trouble in P15, is now on an out lap, as you can see. Gumba then has started, so we'll start to concentrate on the drivers a little bit lower down the order as we get to the closing part. Wait, what? Hey, what? Evening, hey Greza. What is? I don't know what you're doing well. You're definitely talking to someone. I think it is yourself. I call you boss man, don't call me boss man, because that just confuses things. You can call Grez a boss man, because he is a boss man for PRF1. Him and Spreader. I haven't missed anybody out and saying him and Spreader. No, does Demon has some to do as well, doesn't he? Yeah, we lost the plot, mate. So, Goomba, unfortunately not improving, way down. Has he backed off? Well, it's going to be difficult for Goomba. He probably needs to come into the... Well, he needs to come into the pits. There's no... He may just about make it in time to come out again, I think. I think he's just about going to be okay. At the moment, Clem's still not out the pits. Fatal Defiance is on an out lap. Lennon just starting a hot lap, so we'll ride with him. Hey JMB, thanks for joining, mate. Young man. Goomba has retired from the session in P14. I'm surprised he's done that. I think he probably had enough time to get back out. Apex retires, feeling comfortable with where he is. I think they are. I think probably the Dark Lord upwards, probably comfortable. Although if Clem did actually get out on track, that may change things slightly. I'm just wondering, because he joined late, maybe he thinks he can't do a qualifying lap. Or he may be exiting the pits now. There is somebody coming out that looks about the right colour for a car. So Lennon heading around this long left-hander up towards the end, or the sector 2 split, and we'll get an idea of where he is. So currently 6 tenths up nearly, so that would gain him a place ahead of Goomba, which is probably a good target at the moment for getting into Q2. And Clem is out on an outlap. It was him that I saw coming out, so he is going to get a time in, but no room for error whatsoever. Has to nail the first lap. And Lennon improves then just ahead of Goomba into P14, not far off the Dark Lord. Fatal Defiance, 7 tenths up in just the first sector. Seriously, he's got a lot of time to find. He needs to find 1.8 seconds, well, nearly 2 seconds, 1.9 seconds, my apologies, in total. Not sure. Is Jack CX one of ours? Greza, who's just joined? I hope, yeah, Greza, I hope Pajala has managed to sort his audio glitch. He's done a great job in Q1. But, yeah, I hope he's managed to sort it. That's horrible, that glitch. Fatal Defiance then moves up to P12. Very nice lap from him. Rah-rah. Starts his attempt at displacing Lennon. So it's Lennon that's in trouble. I thought for a moment he was going to be okay, having moved ahead of Goomba, but he's now the man in trouble with Rah-rah. 3 attempts up in the first sector. Also Clem on the lap as well. So it looks like Lennon and Dark Lord are going to be in trouble, although Dark Lord is on the lap himself as well. Rah-rah is the first of this group of drivers, so we'll stick with him. So, straight into the sweeping left. PRF1 Frozen has left the session, that's no good. We'll get him back. Just want to see him round sector 2. So, 8.5 temps up. Rah-rah. That's put him into the 130s. He still needs to find a bit. So, can't relax in sector 3. Still needs to find, ideally, at least a couple more attempts. So across the line he comes. It's a 130.4. That puts him up to P13 and safe. Dark Lord just about to cross the line. Improves his time, but not his position. Oh, sorry, no, he did improve position ahead of Michael J. So Clem comes across the line on a 31.0. He didn't manage to nail it in one lap. So Clem is out, along with Goomba, Lennon. I think that's it. So yeah, that's it. Fatal Defiance is into the pits. So that is the end of Q1. So unlucky to the guys who'd have been knocked out in the first part of qualifying. Good news is you won't be too much in the, well, you're not going to be in the midfield for the turn 1, which can be an absolute disaster around here. Hopefully it won't be tonight, but all sorts of shenanigans. I think it's because it's a hard break-in right-hander and then a really tight exit out of turn 2, which I think that's what causes the problems at turn 1 here every season. But, even in real life, you always see someone escaping across the grass. So well, that was weird. I didn't get to see the results. That was a bit strange. No, that's not indicating any issues, but my apologies to the viewers. I don't know what happened there. I just didn't get any results. I'm trying to remember who we lost. Was it Demon? That was Frozen, wasn't it? It's Frozen back. I can't view his gamer card, guys, so I don't know. Let's get the details back up. I hope that's not an indication that we've got a lobby glitch going on. So, first car's coming out on track. I think it's Hambo. It's got to be Hambo. He's always first out on track. So, I think at the moment, well, we're not even in Q3 yet, so we don't need to do any predictions. If you'd like to do a pole position prediction, or a top 3 prediction if you'd like, give it a go. That's very, very tight in Q1. From what I saw there in Q1, I think Greza's put in a great stake. I think Master Spread had as well. Hambo's always up there. Massey will definitely be up there, I can guarantee that. Master Rebel usually has something to say about it as well. Apologies to anybody I've forgotten. Usually is fighting for pole. But, of course, I'm saying usually, I do mean on... I've only seen him on the 21 game, so... We did do a pre-season race last week, but we didn't have too many on track, so... See a lot different tonight as Hambo then comes down towards the start-finish line to start what will be the first flying lap of qualifying 2. This is what I mean, so you see how tight that exit is around turn 2. That's, oh, he's invalidated his Hambo. Oh dear, he's invalidated out of turn 2. So who's behind him? It's a blue one, but it's not a Red Bull. It might be Gazelle. It is indeed Gazelle. Gazelle got through Q1 pretty comfortably with his first lap, I believe. So let's see what sort of time. I don't think, I might be wrong, because obviously I was watching 18 different drivers, but I don't think he came out for any further laps after setting that first one, so he was happy with it and just didn't want to come out for any practice or anything like that. Just anybody just not aware of it, so generally what happens, Q1, Q2, you've got 4 sets of soft tyres that you can use. If you make it into Q3, you get awarded a 5th set of soft tyres, which you can obviously use. So really the first 4 sets are for getting through the first 2 sessions, and 1 completely new set for setting your optimal time in Q3. But that's a 29.4 from Gazelle, that's a nice start. Apex on a 30.5, Michael J also a 30.5, just half a tenth ahead. Massey enters into the 28th then, that's 28.770, I think that's the quickest we've seen so far. Fatal Defiance of 33.4, not managing as well as he did in Q1. Greza then, in that beautiful Williams car. That's all you can say about the Williams in real life this season, as it does look nice. But that's about all you can say, unfortunately. As Greza goes into P4 on a 29.6, so actually he was in the 28s in Q1, so plenty more time there. Big D, P4 on a 29.6 as well. So what we don't know at the start of the session is who's, as Dark Lord's invalidated, Hambo has started his, well, he's actually coming towards the end of his second attempt. Yeah, so what we don't know, of course, is what tyres people are using right now. They could just be using a set they used in Q1, just to get a time on the board and something to aim for. And I think Hambo might come into the pits. He is. Yeah, he slowed right down. So into the pits he comes. Oh, Dark Lord's spinning it. Spin it round. That's turn 1. So I think that was an attempt to go again after invalidating the previous lap. Just going to have a look through, see if anybody is going again. You're not likely to see anybody doing their second attempt on the same tyres around Bahrain. The softs don't do wear pretty quickly, so I'm not really expecting to see softs as part of anybody's strategy, unless there's a perfectly timed late safety car for it. But I'm not expecting them to be part of anybody's strategy in the race from the off. You're going to see people either starting on medium and hard with the idea of going to the opposite tyre later on. So Pajala then, as Greza mentioned, I really hope his audio's working okay tonight. It's put a thing on Facebook Messenger showing us what it sounds like, and it was absolutely horrendous. So it only seems to occur when he joins a lobby that's in Europe, or well, yeah, he does say it happens when he joins European lobbies. I think Pajala, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's, I can't remember, is he Australian or South African? Greza, maybe you can tell me. Can't remember which. So down penultimate straight, down towards the final corner. Comes around. Looking at the clock there, I think it's going to be an okay lap for the first one, but I think he'll definitely be coming out of, well, it's a 29.7 actually, goes P6. I thought it was going to be a bit higher than that, but no, good lap from Pajala to get his Q2 underway. Raratron is on a lap. So Rara round towards the end of sector 2 to 109.8. I'm not sure why, but I did just about catch his first sector time. I think he lost a bit of time in sector 1. So yeah, he's coming through the final corner on sort of 24-25. So he's a little bit down. Gazelle and Massey have both now retired from the session. They must feel that their times are good enough. I'd say it was a bit early to assume that. I think Massey's safe on a 28.7, and I think Gazelle probably is safe on a 29.4, but I do think it's a little bit early when you think you've got the likes of Master Spread, Hambo and Master Revan still to do times. I mean, those are 3 drivers you just expect to go faster than the 29.4, so That would knock him down to 5th, and then there's not quite a few drivers not that far behind him, so it seems a bit risky. So anyway, we're on Hambo now around this horrible left-hand corner. I think it's a horrible corner, and I use ABS. What people who don't use ABS must think of it, I don't know. It must be one of the most difficult turns of the season, I would have thought. Not on ABS. I don't know, because I've never really not used ABS, so I'm on pad, whereas I think most of these drivers probably on wheel. So Mo heads down towards the final corner, and this is a good lap this time. As you can see, it's a 21 through the final corner. So he heads towards the line, and it's a 28.5. So Hambo staking a clear claim. He's going to be the one to take pole position. Spreader goes 29.0 up to P3. Just see, I think Michael J starts the lap. What about Rara? Where's he? Just a bit behind Michael J. So let's go to Michael J in a Ferrari. Comes around to the end of sector 1. He's just a 10th down. It's not very much. Can easily make that up around here. He's currently sat in P10 as well, Michael J. So maybe a case of opting at the end of sector 2 if he hasn't managed to improve. It may be a case of opting to pit. Maybe getting a bit close on time if he does an in-lap. So, just round towards the end of sector 2 now. He is... Okay, he's now quarter of a second up. Track that was showing purple through there. So... Actually, a quarter of a second is not going to gain him any places. But it just makes it a bit harder for those behind to go ahead of him. So he's got Master Revan still set a time, so over the line then, 2/10 improvement, stays P10 but up to a 130.3. Ranratron is into the pits. Master Revan is halfway through sector 2, so let's stick with him. So it's really hard to know, but I think if he was to go ahead of Demon, I think that would definitely put him safe. Spreader retires from the session. Happy with his work so far this evening. And then out of the final corner, comes across the line to a 29.2, which puts him P4 for the moment, and in my eyes that's safe. Michael J not able to improve. Is he able to gain the energy back is probably his biggest question. If he can get the energy back in the battery, he may be able to go again. Not sure if he's going to have enough time to pit or not. He might do. Trying to find others. Apex. That's the line 130.585. No, that wasn't a hot lap, so this is the start of a hot lap then, I believe. So Fatal's a bit further around, so we'll go to Fatal Defiance. He's 4 attempts up in the first sector. Coming around to the final sector now as he crosses the split. It's, wow, 1.1 seconds improved. That puts him on a 31.3. That would move him ahead of Raratron as it stands right now. Raratron is already back out on track. Didn't waste any time in. Quick change of tyres. And off he goes again. Fatal Defiance out of the final corner. Crosses the line on a 130.8. That moves him up to P13 ahead of Raratron. Apex was 3 attempts up in the first sector, 8, nearly 9 attempts up in the second. Apex is heading into the 29s. This could put pressure on. He could knock Demon out potentially. Demon is on an outlap. Out to the final corner. All look pretty tidy. It's a 1:29.6, puts him P8, which currently knocks Demon out. But Big D, Rapid Pajala, PRF1 Demon, all on outlaps. It's a Defiance, looks like he's giving it a go, going again, but it's the end of the lap that's you're going to have a problem doing that because you run out of energy. So, don't think that's likely. Dark Lord is on a hot lap. There's a car off track around there. Just go to Fatal and watch him through sets of 2, just to check if he's managed to improve at all. He is slightly up, so we'll stick with him. But as I say, it's with this straight and then the pit straight, it's this is where he's going to run out of battery. It looks to me like he's managing that battery to try and go quicker, but he's backed out of it. He's heading for the pits. Yeah, it's really difficult. I don't think it's really got not two consecutive laps in it in a way. Let's go to these guys then. So who is furthest round? Big D's furthest round. He was a 10th up in the first sector, coming through to the end of sector 2 now, and his 4 attempts up. He's improving nicely. Currently on target for a 29.2, which would move him up to P5. So rounds the final corner. All looks good. So, and it is a 29.1, moves him into P5 and safe. Let's go to Demon then. Quarter of a second up himself. That would put him into P9. If we can gain just a little bit more time, he could go ahead of Frozen as well. Possibly even Gazelle. So oh wow, 29.2 flew up there at P6. So let's go to the Pajala. So he comes round the final corner. Oh, he's into the pits. So Pajala is out. And I think that is it. So it looks like Raratron improved up to P11 on a 29.6. He's missed out on Q3 by just half a tenth in the end. But really competitive. Thoroughly enjoying this. This is well, I mean, look at it. Big D 29.1 to P11 being a 29.6. So half a second's covering 5th to 11th there, and there's only hundredths of a second then between the next lot, so really tight at the moment. In that session then we lose Raratron, Rapid Pajala, Michael J, Fatal Defiance, Dark Lord, but they've shown good things to show that they will be able to compete to try and get into the pole position shootout throughout the season. So I think that's for today, but at other tracks I think they're going to be up there competing. Hambo quickest in that session on a 28.5, so very impressive lap, as is Grez's a 28.6, and Massey 28.7. I think we'll see Spreader get into the 28s as well, and we ain't seen the best of Master Revan yet. I'm positive of that. I'm sure he can go quicker, but my word is it close. It's proven at the moment. I think it's proven personally to be a lot closer than it was on 2021 in PRF1 as it stands right now. I know it's only one race, one track, one qualifying, but as it stands right now, it's mighty close. So if you fancy getting your top 3 guess in, please do. I think that I will go with... do you know, for once, I'm not going to say Hambo. I'm going to go with Greza for pole. Massey P2, Hambo P3. That's what I'm going to go with. I know everybody's probably thinking I'm insane not saying Hambo, but it was really tight. And if they don't put a perfect lap in, it could possibly go anywhere, I would suggest. That's my prediction. Who we got then? Is that Big D not first? Is it Gazelle again? He's like Hambo, he does like to be first out on track. suppose if you think about it, if you're first out, you're less likely to be impeded, aren't you? Because everybody else should be out and going off on their outlaps before you reach the start-finish. So I guess that would be a reason to go out early. I'm trying to be first out on track. Details back up. Just outlaps at the moment. We're likely to see 2 runs from each driver, I think, here. I don't think there's really time enough to do a 3rd run at Bahrain, so I think it's going to be 2 main runs. We might see a little bit of everybody out to do a run, and then everybody into the pits, wait a little bit, and then all back out again. Gazelle then will be first. Hambo is out on track just up at turn 1. Hopefully he won't come into play here at all, but he's experienced enough, I think, to not get in someone's way. All look neat and tidy through turns 1, 2 and 3. I'm still undecided on turn 4 whether it's a 4th gear corner or 3rd gear corner. I saw someone take it in 5th the other day, so I'm not entirely convinced at all. In fact, that guy I saw take it in 5th the other day was Meat Bro. I don't know if you know Meat Bro, but he's always high up on the TTs. Zell then heading down. Doesn't look like he's going to catch Hambo on his outlap, so Hambo will be starting to pick up the pace in the car now. Round through sector 2, 107.2. Head down towards the final corner, and it's well, he's going through the corner at 21, so it's looking like a good lap from Gazelle to open the Q3. 29.1, a fine lap from Gazelle. Big D 29.2, there's a McLaren, that's Master Spread. Goes across 28.9, so Master Spread is indeed into the 28s. Who's that? That is Master Revan. He's slightly faster than Gazelle was, so could be heading into the 28s. Oh, just misses 28s. 29.0 puts in P2 for the moment. The Alpha Tauri 9.4, P5. Massey rounds the final corner. He's made a mistake somewhere along the line and has backed out, so I suspect he's going to go now. This is Greza in the Williams. It's 106 something through sector 2. Hambo goes, oh, wow, that's a monster lap from Hambo. 28.3. Greza manages 28.8 and will probably be shocked to see himself half a second off the current pole time. That is some lap from Hambo. It's got to be said. Is anyone going to be able to challenge that? Apex coming through sector 2 at 109, so probably looking at being in the 30s somewhere. It's looking at like a 130 or 131. Going to battle it into the pits. No. Crosses even a 32.0 in the end, and that is Big D. So, Demon not coming out for a first run. Maybe deciding that he wants to save a set of softs for the race, perhaps. That's everybody done. Let's just go to Massey, actually, because I think he was going to do an extra run. So he's round the final corner now. Yeah, it's a much better run from him. So it's a 28.7, puts in P2. Now, he's got a bit more in him, hasn't he? Because we know that, because he did effectively an extra outlap on the softs, which would have taken a bit out of them. So we know he's got a little bit more just in the tyres. Spreads are coming in. We'll be heading in now. So we may just be waiting a little bit for them to come out again. Be a bit careful. If you come out now, you could end up coming across the line when everybody else is coming out to do their runs. You don't really want that. We can go to Massey. We got some. Well, actually, in fact, while we're waiting for everyone to come out, I've just had the controller batteries are low thing come up. So let's just do a quick battery change. I've got some more here, so just give me a second. All sorted. So we'll go to Frozen then. He's on an out lap. He's coming out to do his second run. So currently in P8 on a 29.4. I think we saw him go a little bit quicker than that in an earlier session. We're currently covered. Well, P5 to P8 is covered by 4 attempts. See, Hambo is at a little bit of a world of his own at the moment. He is out on an out lap, so he's not just assuming that that's good enough for pole. He wants to see if he can go quicker again. Yeah. Okay, so Frozen across the line then. He's got some guys on pit exit, but he's going to be through turn 1 before they reach it, so that's okay. I've just noticed we've got an extra runner. Noodle Neck has just joined, so we're definitely up to 19 for the race. Excellent, Noodle Neck's be able to get in. So, coming up to the end of sector 1 now for Frozen. It's just over a tenth up, which is a pretty good improvement just in sector 1. So sector 2 is the long sector on this track, so it's where you're likely to find the biggest improvement if you can. Pretty good round that left-hander. Got on the power nice and early on exit. Oh, there's an absolute cluster of cars down at the pit exit as Hambo comes into turn 1. So I think everybody was out of the way okay. Oh wow, okay. Frozen is flying. He's over half a second up. He's well on target. He's on target at the moment for a 28.8. If he can keep this up, he could be troubling Grezza and P3. Out of the final corner he comes. Heads for the line. So 28.6 in the end. He goes P2 ahead of Massey. What a lap from Frozen that is. Still 3.5 tenths off Hambo, but they're gradually sneaking a little bit closer. Revenant's on an out lap. Massey. Well, Hambo. Oh, Hambo's backed right off. I think he's been caught up in traffic, to be honest. He's had to back off. Massey then currently sat in P3 on a 1:28.796. He's completely slowed down. So, oh, that looked like there was a car going around behind. It was. That was a Merc. That was Demon. Have to get himself round. Trying to find anyone who might be up. There's one. Master Revan is up through sector 1. Let's stick with him then, because I'm not entirely sure who's on the lap and who's not at the moment. This is, seems to be a lot of people backed out, and it looks like Master Revan's just backed out, despite being up in Sector 1. He has to put his foot down a little bit if he wants to get round in time. Zell then starts the lap. Who's that coming down? That is Frozen, who we saw put himself into P2 in a way. Demon's not on a lap. Well, it's all a little unsure at the moment. Hambo's down a 10th and a half. Let's just go to Master Spread. He's a bit further around. That was Greza. Track. Master Spread's found 3 temps. So this, at the moment, if he crossed the line now, he'd be going into P2. And you keep that up through the final sector as the countdown ends. Frozen has finished. Master Spread crossed the line. It's a 28.4. Goes into P2. Just 0.110 off. And that's Hambo crossing the line. Oh, he does improve. He did improve, but I think he'd invalidated because his time's not actually improved on the screen. Big D across the line improves as well. Goes P7. Gazelle heads through the final corner. It's slightly up in Sector 2. We'll need to find more time, but into the pits he comes. Who's the next one? So this is Greza. Oh, he's not done proper lap. Master Revan. Well, where's Massey? Massey's a bit further around. Massey is half a second up. Massey potentially... Oh no, Hambo's time did improve then. It just took a while to show up on my screen. But Massey is on for pole. And that looked good through the final corner. This could be pole position. It's 128. 241. He goes fastest by 18 thousandths of a second. Demon crosses the line. I didn't see where he actually moved to. P9. There you are. It's on the screen there. He went up into P9. Wow. That was close. And mighty, mighty times. Well, what a mighty pole position time that is from Massey. And I think Hambo, maybe in the end, just... He wasn't able to get his final run done on his second lap. What should have been his flying lap. Had to go do an extra out lap. And I wonder if that's just cost him the pole. But still, a mighty, mighty qualifying session. On top 7, covered by 8 temps. Zell not too far behind that. And then Demon and Apex a little bit off. But still good times in the mid-29s. Even in P9 and P10. Really good driving, guys. That's a fantastic fight for pole position as well. I hope we get that every single week, please. Yeah, you were 1.5 temps down on the first... In fact, I'd basically written you off at that point, Hambo. I stopped watching you because I thought, nah, that's too much. So no, fair play, mate, for still going that bit quicker. But yeah, proper close quality, says Big D. Definitely was. I cannot wait for this race. I can wait enough, though, that I can go and get a coffee, guys. So I'm just going to go silent for a few minutes while the drivers take a break, and I'll be back with you shortly. But congratulations, Massey. That was one hell of a qualifying session at the end there. Really enjoyed that. I'll be back very shortly. Right, okay, guys, I'm back, and I'm just gonna make sure, yeah, it's a little party. That's cool. So what we got coming up, we got the 50% race. If qualifying how close it is, this race could be ridiculous in how close it is. I think it's going to be fights all the way through the field as well, which is always what you want to see. You don't just want the front guys being close, you want everybody, like, different sections, you know, being close. Going to be interesting to see who what's for what tyres. One thing I will say, on my team race around here, which I didn't do so long ago, I do 100%, and it did actually, on my personalised strategies, it actually offered me a one-stop soft to hard as being the fastest option. So I don't know if anybody has taken any know that around here. Maybe Michael J does, because he's the only one starting on soft tyres. Then the whole of the top 10 opted for the mediums. Raratron in P11, the second pole they used to call it. When you had being the first driver with free tyre choice in seasons gone by, so you'll change this year. But he's starting on hards, then Bajala on mediums, then there's Michael J on the softs. Fatal Defiance on hards, and then P15 to 19, who is Noodle Neck, by the way. Really great shout to Noodle Neck, glad you could join us. But they're all starting on the medium tyres. So I'll get that moved to position change, just to help me at the start. Now, what I'd like to say is, there's your predicted stop strategy: medium to hard, 2 stop if you start on the soft, medium, hard. I don't think that's required. You can do a 1-stop soft and hard as well. But I'm going to say, please, Formula 1 gods, F1 22 gods, whoever it is that looks after us, please let everybody get through turns 1, 2, 3 and 4 safely on lap 1. Then it will be up to them to do the rest, but this would be lovely if they could all just get through on lap 1, so that we can move on. It's only downside to Bahrain, really. Usually, if everybody gets through, you end up with a great race. If you get that safety car at the start because of the turn 1 to 4 incident, it can mess it up a bit. Oh, my favourite part of this season so far, actually. How many do you think will be disqualified for overshooting the grid slots? I'm going to say 3. Gazelle, Michael J. There's Clem. I think I've got it. 3 predicted correctly. Come on. Oh, look at this. I've got an absolute horrendous video shot. Looked like Massey got off okay. Hambo did get off okay, but Master spreads off to a flyer up into P2. Frozen. What is going on? Why is the camera all the way back there? Master spread into P2 then, chasing Massey. Frozen. Just looking on the track map, I think Pajala ended up around at some point there. He's down to the back. I thought I saw a car spin, but there we have it. Big D up into 4th. Great start from him, up 3 places from 7th on the grid. Frozen as well, up 2 places to 3rd. Hambo's down 3 to 5th. He'll be eager to try and get back up a little bit. Zell up a couple, Demon up a couple. Just go to Hambo. Actually, no, let's go to Grezzo, who's dropped forward to 10. I think he dropped to 11 and he's just made a place back up, actually. Our biggest gainer, though, off the start was Clem, who's up 5 places from 17th to 12th. Michael J also up 4 places, a lot of starts. Let's go to Hambo, who has now become the closest driver through an overtake, and as I say, that Gumba gets very close to the back of Fatal Defiance. Are we going to have any first lap pitters? Can't see anyone veering towards the pit, so I think we might be okay. Unless Pajala has to. Pajala, by the way, already caught up to the back of the pack, so he didn't stay behind for too long. But no, everybody through. No lap 1 pitters at all. Hambo's just fallen off of Big D a little bit, so Big D's called up to the back of Frozen, and they go side by side through turn 4. Frozen ends up being sent a little bit wide, but that's a fine move from Big D, and into P3 goes. Was Hambo able to take advantage of that on Frozen? He's going to be round the outside here. Oh, he just gets squeezed a little bit, but all fair. He's going to have the inside now to the left hand. No, it's gone wrong, and Hambo was round. I didn't see if that was contact or if it was if he caught the inside curb. He rejoins the track and resumes in P12. So all the work to do for Hambo. The Stark Lord has a go at him, but Hambo able to fight that one off for the moment. Let's go then to Master Revan, who's right on the back of Demon right now. We've got some great tussling for positions early on. So at the moment, Massey and Masters are creating a bit of a gap to the rest as Gumba gets ahead of Ravatron for P15 a bit further down. Raven's just fallen off a little bit to the back of Demon. So we've got anybody else that, who was, that was Raven. He spun it. He's down out of turn 2. And he's going to resume all the way down now in P16, P17 as Pajala goes past him. And he comes under a bit of pressure from his teammate Fatal Defiance as well, who won't be pleased to see his teammate suddenly be the car in front of him. But, I don't think he's got damage, Fatal Defiance. He just needs to get his tyres going again, so I won't attack him too much, being that he started on the mediums to your hards. Let's go then to... I'm trying to find who's closest at the moment. We've barely seen the leaders, and they probably are closest, so let's go to them. So it's Massey with Master Spread right on his backside. Who thought we'd see a McLaren this high up, fighting for a lead? So these two fights. Frozen has gotten ahead of Big D. Of course, he would have had DRS down the straight for the first time. So apologies there, I missed that one. But Frozen gets that place. But Big D picks up DRS back on the lead up to turn 4. Frozen's DRS light is already flashing. Wow, close racing, but no contact. That was brilliant. It looks like now that Frozen does have that position. Brilliant racing, guys. That was fantastic. So Revan gets ahead of Raratron down the grid. These two haven't given up yet. Big D hasn't given up at all yet. He's still close enough. He just needs the DRS. Whether he'll try and do anything here or whether he will just stay in behind, rather take the opportunity on the main straight, I would have thought. Got a sector 2 yellow. That looks like it's Lennon and Fatal Defiance. Yeah, looks like Lennon's come off worse on that one. So he drops to the back and Fatal Defiance takes P18. Just go back where we Big D. It's the battle between Frozen and Big D. Frozen took this position off of Big D last lap, but Big D looks like he's going to have a go at taking it back. Opens up the DRS. He sees that lovely sight of Deep Frozen's DRS light flashing already. side by side into turn 1. Will Big D get a little bit of a switch back here, going through turn 2, and in the lead up to turn 4. Although the other AlphaTauri of Gazelle is trying to help his teammate out by attacking Big D. Probably has helped him out there, so the positions remain the same. It's just anybody else. I mean, there's a bit of a train going on actually from P12. Go down to that. I was just about to say from Dark Lord, and I think he spun it. He has indeed. That's out of turn 4. That's the old traction. Be a bit careful recovering. Just solidified while on the racing lines. Just be a bit careful. Dark Lord gets going again then. Does drop down to the back, but everything looks intact and he'll continue on his race. The front 2 now have pulled out 4 seconds over Frozen. As Clem. Actually, I'm going to suggest let's go to Greza, who is close on the back of Demon. He's actually just set the fastest sector 2 of the race so far. There's Greza. So we're actually getting to the point of the race where Michael J. We're thinking that a safety car right now would actually be quite handy, guys. Not gonna lie. As Greza then, under DRS, goes to the inside for turn 1. It looks like he's got that move done pretty much before the braking zone. Demon doesn't put up too much of a fight there. And into P6 goes Greza as the battle ahead. Big D with the 2 AlphaTauris continues. Big D very close to slipping out of DRS to Frozen. Noodle Neck picks up the first penalty. Fatal Defiance is into the pits. Puts on a set of mediums. So he started on the hards. He's done some mediums very early. You can only assume he picked up some damage there. Maybe with Lennon. Sorry, let's go to these 3 again then. Well, it's not 3 anymore, is it? It's 5. Sector 2 has a yellow. And that is, I think that might be Master Revan again. It is indeed. So back down to 16. Not having his favourite of starts in the Bahrain race so far, but a long, long way to go. So we've got to go back to these guys. Oh, what Frozen would give to get Big D out of his DRS zone right now and make life so much easier on him. This is what happens when he picks up DRS, and just watch this gap. Shorter, shorter. He only actually gained about a 10th there, actually. Going straight. But, everyone used a lot of their energy already, whereas Greza in P6 has 60%. Front 2 only just under 50%. You look after it well as Hambo moves into P10. Possibly a switch of positions there for the Haas team. Hambo into 10, Apex to 11. Just going to switch to tyres. So the softs on Michael J's car will be starting to feel horrendous. In fact, so horrendous, I'm going to suggest that we move down to Clem, who's on the back of him. It should be pit this lap. Maybe one more lap for Michael J, but you can't really go much further. It's always the way when you're in this situation, though. You've taken a gamble starting on softs. No safety cars come yet. And you think, well, if I pit this lap and then a safety car comes out, it's going to be a nightmare. Should I push it out? But I think you can tell by the train that's starting to appear underneath it, behind him, that those tyres are gone on his Ferrari. Is he going to peel off to the pits? Doesn't look like it. So let's go on board with Clem. Closes in and sees the lights starting to come up. He's not bothering to use energy, he doesn't need it. Just the fact that the grip on those softs have gone is enough for Clem to take that position reasonably easily. Michael may even come under attack from Hambo up towards turn 4. Makes an early move to the inside to defend it. Hambo's going to go round the outside. But, may opt to back out at this point. Maybe not worth risking your front wing through there. Oh wow, look at these guys. Okay, this is Raratron, Noodle Neck, Master Revan, Rapid Pajala. There's Gumba in the Ferrari not far up the road from them. Was there a bit of contact there? That sounded like there was a bit of contact. Noodle Neck on the back of Revan. Demon makes up a place. In fact, Gazelle's dropping down. Something's happened to Gazelle. The green flags are out, so he definitely had something go wrong there, a spin or something. So he drops to P10. Greza gets ahead of Big D on the straight. Greza able to take advantage of that extra energy he's got. And I am sure he's now going to get after Frozen as well. He was in the same boat, much lower on energy than Greza. Suggest that he can do that. Let's just go back down to this one. So this is Gazelle having a look at the inside of Michael J. Oh, they make contact. They make contact a couple of times there. In the end, Michael J is worse off. And through goes Gazelle. Not really inclined to blame anyone there. I think that's just a hard racing. I'm not sure there was too much intent there from anyone. That was just hard racing. Because what we didn't quite see before we changed was that Michael was attacking the car ahead of him, which is Hambo at the time. Who, by the way, is now attacking Clem. So Clem maybe a land to the slaughter here. He saved a lot of energy, mind Clem. He's at 60%. So if he wants to, I mean, he could use that as a defence to Hambo, but may come in handy having high energy later in the race. So may not want to waste it doing that. Yeah, he's not using it. Look. Sometimes you pick your battles. Myself as a sort of driver that's well, when I was racing PRF1, I'd be sort of the second half of the top 10 normally myself, so occasionally fighting for podiums, but generally in the sort of 5th to 10th range. Sometimes you pick your battles, and you know, I think Clem's thinking there might have been, I got 60% energy. Hambo is an extremely quick driver. Do I really want to waste all this energy defending against a very quick driver, or would I rather keep it until I'm fighting against somebody sort of closer at my own pace? So Master Revan has pitted to hards. Lennon has now pitted to hards as well. This could be close on the pit exit. Let's just go down to Revan. I think Lennon's going to get ahead. His tyres are going to be horrible, of course. So Master Revan does take the position back very quickly, but Pajala and Noodle Neck fighting away. This is for P14. Trying to keep an eye through the field, guys. Just trying to find the closest battles going on at the time. I think I'm gonna move to the top 2, guys. Sorry to leave that one, but look how close they are. Now we're coming up to stop time. About 12:13, I think, would be your usual medium. Stop off the mediums to the hards. The problem for these two is no one wants to give the other one the overcut. The overcut's worth a lot around Bahrain, so you could end up seeing these guys go a lot longer than rest. trying not to be the first one to pit. Should see Spreader really close on the back of Massey. And look at the energy difference now. He's attacked Massey enough that Massey's down to basically 10%. Whereas Spreader's been building his back up and he's at 70% now. It's Massey dummies a pit stop. Spreader not falling for it. Happy to take DRS. You happily take the position if it comes to him without using ERS, but he's got no reason to use it at the moment. Our first of the top runners into the pits, then Big D. In maybe hoping to get some sort of undercut if the rest stay out more than one lap. Good work. Good stop. And back out he goes as Greza. They are side by side. Greza and Frozen, a little bit of contact there. Greza, I think, has made that position up now. Oh no, he's not. Frozen comes back at him up the inside. Now Greza will have the inside for the horrible left-hand turn. And now it looks like Greza has consolidated that position. Obviously, Frozen will get DRS down here. Great battling from these two. Only a little bit of contact early on. I don't think there was any blame on that. Just a bit of rough racing. There is another battle one I want to move to, which is Noodle Neck on the back of Big D, as Big D is trying to get his tyres up to temperature this lap. I don't want to leave this a second because Frozen is still pretty close. Greza now has used a lot more energy. Frozen runs out of energy. And he's not going to get this done. This is a bit of a dive. It's got to be said, that's from a long way back. But, he did it well though. It's from a long way back, but he did manage to break for the corner. And in the end, he's taken the place back off of Greza. So back into P3 goes Frozen. Just going to go down to Pajala, who's making a move on Raratron for P11. Pajala had a very good qualifying, and he's showing he's got pace in the race as well. As he moves to just one place outside the points. Which is just a shout out actually to Gumbo, who's up to P10. He's had a fantastic first half of this race. Dark Lord is into the pits. So right. Oh! That's Raratron. He's around. And ghosting on, so you can pretty much return to track pretty easily. The only thing you've got to be a bit careful of is that your car is going to solidify back as you get up to speed. You don't want to be doing that right in front of another driver, ideally. But all good there from Ramatron, no issues there whatsoever. And I'm going to go back to the front too. Still, Spreader is attacking the back of Massey, but refuses to use any energy to do it with. I feel like I know what Master Spread is trying to do here. He's saving up his energy. He wants Massey to pit. It's basically what he wants to have. He wants Massey to pit so that he can go for an overcut and basically absolutely spunk all his energy on one lap. Putting in basically the best lap of the race so far, getting a massive overcut, and then coming out with a lap fresher tyres. Massey, I think that's his strategy here. The thing is, I think Massey's experienced enough that he probably knows that, but there's not a lot he can do about it. He's almost at a disadvantage being in first right now. I have to say, Master Spread is driving an absolutely spectacular race thus far. As I'm just going to go down, guys, to Dark Lord and Master Revan. Save. Exited while they were fighting down towards turn 1. Dark Lord's going to have another go in turn 4, but it looks like Revan on this occasion has defended that. He's going to hope to get a bit of an undercut, is Revan, as Frozen is into the pits then. Right, so we know that Frozen and Grezza were right next to each other on track. So Frozen is into the pits. I pretty much guarantee that Grezza will come in next lap. So let's just see the power of this overcut that I mentioned. So that is, well, Frozen comes out in P10 just behind Goomba, who hasn't pitted yet, and just in front of Pajala, who hasn't pitted yet, and of course he's going to come under big pressure from Pajala, which also wasn't ideal for him because he doesn't really want traffic on this outlap. Now Grezza, let's go to Grezza because he may not be in a direct battle at the moment, but this is important. So what I'll tell you is Frozen, who's just behind Pajala and just in front of Big D, they are heading into that difficult left-hander now. Well, Grezza is round onto the penultimate straight. So it's not going to be a completely accurate reading of the strength of the overcut because Frozen's picked up traffic on his outlap. But, well, Grezza's ruined it for me because he's not pitted. I was so certain he was going to pit then. I can't believe he's not pitted there. Let's take advantage of that. But, Massey and Master Spread still refusing to pit. How long can they do that for? How long will those mediums actually go? Great question. As I'm going to go to Big D, who is making a move on Frozen to the outside. Those tyres of Frozen should be up to temperature now, but the thing is, Big D's are just in that sort of area where the hards come really good after 3 or 4 laps, and they'll be starting to feel really nice. As we got our first retirement, Lennon is out. Oh, it's a safety car. It's a full safety car. It's going to ruin strategies for people who have just pitted. Oh, this is going to pay off for the leaders. It's going to pay off for the leaders. It's going to pay off for Grezza. It's going to pay off for Demon, Hambo, Clem, Gazelle, Apex, Goomba are all going to Pajala. We're all going to benefit from this. They don't really have a choice. All these guys that started on mediums that stayed out this long have to pit. Same for Ravatron, who started on the hards. But it is very much undone all of that good work that Master Spread had done for ending up the winner of this race. Wow, okay. Okay, so Massey's gone to soft tyres, Master Spread's gone to hards. They've gone to opposite tyres, guys. That is a big call from Massey. We saw from Michael J that his softs were going after 7 laps. This safety car could be out of wild mind, waiting for everybody to catch up, so that could be a master stroke from Massey. He's not the only one that's gone to softs now. Gazelle's done it, Apex has done it, Pajala, Goomba have all done it. Master Revan's done it, currently down at the back. Is it the right call? Oh, and that's Hambo. Is that a spin? Ends up off track. He's going to lose the place to Clem. He's going to rejoin in P7. just a little worried that Big D might have got told to give the position back on him and picked up a penalty, but he hasn't. Looks okay. It's a little mistake there from Hambo while the tyres were cold. But we are now called up to the safety car. As I say, it's going to be a long one, I believe. Master Raven is just coming into the final corner on the previous lap, so exceptionally slow. You can only assume that's because of Delta. So he's going to be a long time catching up, so I don't think this safety car is going to come in until the end of lap 19 at best. Which means you could see the two Aston Martins, who are currently 17 and 18, make a little cheeky move and do another pit stop. Let's have a quick look at the penalties. Has anybody got 5-second penalties? No, oh, I hadn't realised that. Master Revan's picked up a drive-through. So that hurts him. It's unfortunate. But no, everybody else is 3 seconds. Noodlenet's got 6, but still the corner cutting ones, so we can't get rid of any of that. Unfortunately for him. So, our top driver so far, you've got to say, for the day, Clem, is up 11 places from 17th to 6th. Did an outstanding job. Other standouts, I think Spreader's driven a fantastic race. The safety car really has hurt his strategy against Massey. Other than that, Graz has done very well, having to fight back through after dropping down a bit. Demon as well, up 5 places, look from 9th on the grid to 4th. Gumbo as well, having a very good race, 18th up to 12th. If it stays like this, it may be very hard to pick a driver of the day today. So I'll give it a go. Just go get it back on tyres so we can see exactly what's happening there. So we're just driving with Master Revan at the moment. So he's the last man that will catch up. So we know the safety car will go to lap 19 because it's nowhere near the back of the group. So I'm just wondering if the safety car will go past lap 19. Will it go on to lap 20 or will it come in at the end of lap 19? Can't remember exactly how many laps we've done. So at the moment, everybody up to Michael J has caught the back of the safety car. He's the next one to do it. He's currently P14. He's pitted to mediums. So those that have pitted to medium or hards, they want this safety car to go again. The guys that have pitted to softs, they want it to stay out as long as possible. I just wonder if... well... Master Revan driving very, very slowly. Which he's allowed to do, of course. Yes, he's got to catch up to the pack, but he ain't got it. There's nothing to say he's got to go a certain speed to catch up to the pack. Take his time doing it. He's put soft tyres on and don't want to ruin them before the safety car even comes in. You don't want to leave it so long that he ends up falling, like the safety car comes in without him having caught up. On the other hand, of course, he does have a drive-through. But it's the same boat for Fatal Defiance as well. His teammate, currently in P17. He's got a few drivers up ahead of him in penalties, so he may be able to make up some places. The safety car is round its turn. Well, he's just coming in, it's just approaching that difficult left-hander. Sort of long sweeping left to a sharp turn in left. So, still got a long way to make up as Fatal Defiance, and I'm not 100% sure if it will come in this lap. Hopefully these guys that are deciding whether the safety car will come in or not are counting their laps. So, At the moment, Noodle Neck will be next to catch it. He should catch it by the end of the lap. I get these guys don't want to take too much out of their tyres, but they do seem to be taking a long time. Right, there's the race control. There is the shout. Safety car in this lap. Have these guys left it too late? It's going to catch it. I think, yeah, Noodle Neck and Dark Lord 100% going to catch it. I think Fatal Defiance will as well, to be fair. But I don't think Master Evan will, but then he's got a drive through, so he's probably not that bothered, in all honesty. Right, safety car in this lap. Let's go to the front guys then. So we are restarting on lap 20, meaning there is 10 laps remaining. Off goes Massey. He looks like he's pulled enough of a gap not to come under attack. He's going to have advantage early in this stint with the soft tyres. He will be wanting to make absolutely sure. As there is some battles going on. That was Big D and Clem. For P5, Big D holds him off. Let's just go to that. So fight again up to turn 4. Yeah, so Massey knows that really that he needs to get a second gap opened up between him and Master Spread on the first 2 laps before DRS becomes starts to play a part, basically. So as Frozen gets ahead of Ajala. Oh, I think something's happened to Apex. He's lost it on the left-hander. But he is going again. But that's dropped him right the way down to P17. Fatal Defiance now up to 15 since the restart. Still got a couple of drivers up ahead that got penalties who are still close to him. Massey has opened up that second gap. That all-important second gap is up to 1.3. As he sets the fastest lap of the race as well with a 31.7. It's all about what sort of gap Massey can create before his softs start to fall off a bit, which, because of the safety car laps, I think will be around about 9 laps old, possibly 8 or 9 laps. As Gazelle's falling down. Where is he? Can't find him. He's recovered it in a way, but he's now dropped to 17th. After what's been a fantastic race for Gazelle as well, and a brilliant qualifying from him. As Clem and Hambo end up fighting. So Clem has gone from attacking Big D for P5 to defending from Hambo. There's contact, and Hambo is round. Again, I'm not gonna... Oh, Hambo, no. That's just been caught on stream. Oh, Hambo, why did you do that? That's a full safety car. Hambo leaves the session. Upset, clearly, but afraid that's not the way to do it. That's a deliberate retirement into the wall. It is brought out a safety car and it's going to affect everybody's races. So, some coming into the pits then. Fatal Defiance in, Dark Lord in, Gazelle in. I don't know why these two are battling. What's going on there? Noodle Net's car is ghosting. Apex, I'm not sure that the car ghosting at this point is a... It don't mean you can overtake him, mate. Got to wait. Still got to wait in line. So... hopefully this won't be a long safety car. Obviously this plays into Revan's hands. This is going to just get him onto the back. He's penalty free. Whether he's going to be able to go on and pick up any points tonight or not is another question, but it gives him that outside chance of maybe forcing it into the top 10. He's, what's going on here? I think Noodle Neck's car being an AI is causing some issues here. It's confusing people. Oh, let me go to Noodle Neck a second. What is going on, Noodle Neck? Showing you as offline. Why are you offline? I'll invite him. Whether he's already there or not, I don't know. Having joined late in qualifying, and he's now offline according to that, but I don't know if that's right or not. Raratron pits, gives up track position to pit to fresh softs. I can't imagine that Massey is going to be too impressed with this safety car. Obviously his softs continue to get more and more worn. Yeah, so Master Revan. Right, safety car in this lap, there's the confirmation. So we get ready to go again, but has the advantage swung? Is the advantage now in Master Spread's court? Have Massey's tyres gone, or is it because of the laps done of the safety car that they've still got some life in them? So we saw with Michael J at the start, his really were gone at lap 7. At the end of this lap, Massey would have done 7 laps, but they've been under most of those laps have been under safety car. So I'm sure they've still got a bit of life in them, but whether they got enough life to get away from Master Spread again, we'll have to see. It'd be a great fight to the end. Reza did come under attack a bit there from Demon, but in the end Demon was back in behind him. Just going to switch quickly to Raratron and Revan, who are side by side. Here we go, this is Revan on the inside at turn 4. And gets that done nicely, although Raratron's going to come back at him. He remains side by side into the left-right, and Raratron does that very nicely. Brilliant switchback. He's also going to go up the inside of Noodle Neck's AI. We're going to have a couple of things that Bossmen are going to need to look at from this race, but I'm not going to go into too much detail in them, but clearly a couple of things that need looking at. So Massey clearly still has life in his soft tyres. He's pulling away from Master Spread at a rate of knots at the moment. It's looking like it was a genius stroke from him. And you can see that Pajala is putting pressure on Clem, and that's a soft against hard battle. So clearly, right now, the softs are still better. That could change so quickly around here. Frozen just got ahead of Raratron, or I think that's Raratron attacking Frozen. Sorry, I can't believe that. That is Pajala then up the inside of Clem at turn 1. Very nice move from Pajala, and into P6 he goes. He's coming under attack. Clem looks to get that place back, but it looks to me like he's got the grip on those softs still to hold that round the outside. So Pajala up into P6. Very good drive from Pajala tonight. Very impressed. So then, battles continue. I'm trying to pick him out for you. Gazelle's pretty close to... Well, there's a little bit of a train here, but this is Gazelle attacking the back of Fatal Defiance, who, to be quite honest, if considering what it was like, or where Fatal Defiance was on the last safety car, no, but the one before the last one, where he was in 16th with Revan in 17th, who had a driver as well at that point. Fatal Defiance could pick up a point here. It would be a very well-reserved point. And he's penalty-free, so he'd currently move ahead of Dark Lord, and possibly Clem as well. So he could be on for more than 1 point. Right. Can't get any closer than these guys at the moment on track. As I said, I think Frozen's been round. He has indeed. And drops to the back. Well, Frozen has gone from having a very good race to down at the back now. Apart from that spin there, it's been pretty much no fault of his own. Just one of those things. It's going to cost him championship points in his first race. So Gazelle has a look at Fatal Defiance. He's run wide though as Gazelle. But it looks like he's going to get a run on Fatal Defiance. Oh, he's out of energy. Well, so's Fatal. They're both out of energy. So's Apex. Everybody's out of energy. It's Gazelle having a look at the inside. I don't know, there might have been a tiny bit of contact there. Fatal Defiance defends that nicely. Fortunately for Master's credit, it looks to me like Master's tyres are going to hold on long enough. With sort of about 2.5 laps to go. The gap is just over 2 seconds. They will start dropping off. I wouldn't be surprised to see that gap come down before the end. But I think Master Spread's mind's going to be more on defending against Grezza than worrying about attacking Massey now. Of course, while he's having to defend, that just helps Massey out even more. Just go to Raven a second. So difficult to know who to watch right now. So many that are close to the cars ahead. Now, I don't know if Michael J has got DRS or not. He has. So they both have DRS. Revan goes to the inside for, sorry, the outside for turn 1. He's going to go around the outside as, oh, Demon's retired. Demon is out. Somewhere around here, I'm not entirely sure where he is. Oh, he's back there on the left-hand side, he was. Because we've got a set to 1 yellow. And I think Big D's been round as well, so another one who's having a great race. Big D, all of a sudden now he finds himself down at the back. So many races ruined here. It is what it is, it's the position we should find ourselves in. So Massey continues to build that gap. I think that is largely now because Spreader and Greza are battling for P2. That is allowing Massey to continue to increase that gap at the moment, because they've got to concentrate on each other, these two. And they'll be crossing the line soon, as we got sets of 2 and 3 yellows. That is the other Haas, it's Apex. And I think he's lost his wing. He has. He has no wing at all. So, whether you bother pitting or whether you just continue on, do the last lap. Car's pretty drivable even without a front wing now. So, look how close Master Spread and Greza were there. Heading up to turn 4 now. Could be Greza's last chance. Let's just go to penalties a second. Keep with these two for this lap, I think. As, well, Pajala has just made his way into P4. Oh, I've got to go somewhere. As Big D and Demon retire out of the race in the pits. It's, not entirely sure what's just happened, but... No, what's happened to Pajala? Why? What? Oh no, he suddenly dropped down to P12. He was in P4. Oh, he's going to be absolutely kicking himself. There is going to be a few movements because of penalties here, but I've got to go to the leaders. Massey is on his way through the final corner. And across the line he comes to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. Master Spread will take P2 just ahead of Greza. Pretty much crossed the line together, but it's P2 for Spreader, P3 for Greza. Clem is going to cross the line P4, but Gumba is promoted to P4. What a drive from Gumba. And I think that's just going to automatically give him driver of the day. But Fatal Defiance as well is promoted up to P5. It's insane. Clem P6 in the end. Master Revan somehow comes P7. If there was ever a reason not to give up, Aston Martin have just shown it. They finished 5th and 7th on the second last safety car. They were running the last 2 on the grid, and Master Revan even added the drive-through penalty at that stage. Gazelle P8, Dartlord P9, Michael P10. I feel so sorry for Pajala. He got up to 4th at one stage on that last lap and ends up P11. Such a shame. So the driver's given driver of the day to, the game's given driver of the day to Gumba. I don't think I'm going to be able to disagree with that based on the positions gained. Fatal Defiance as well, which has to be said, is with a shout for that. But I'll double check in a second. It's I'm afraid that yeah. Well, no, we're watching the podium. Let's just say, well done, Massey. Stuck in there. I think the safety car helped a lot. The first one. but the decision to switch to softs, whereas Master Spread switched to hards, it appears to be what's won the race in the end. So congratulations to him. Master Spread P2, Greza P3, Gumba 4, Fatal Advance 5, Clem 6, Revan 7, Gazelle 8, Dartlord 9, Michael P10. Rapid Pajala, so unfortunate for him not to pick up points, ends up P11, Frozen 12, Raratron 13, Apex 14, and then from 16 down retired. Big D and PRF1 Demon are classified as 16 and 17, but Hambo and Lennon are the retirements. I'm not going to quite get to race director, unfortunately. Let's just get back to the lobby and I invite the top 3 guys in. So we want Massey. Let's go to Gamer Card. Party, Greza. Gamer Card. Master Spread's left the there's those 2. Right. There's the final invite gone out to Master Spread. I was going to invite Gumbo as well, but he's disappeared. Here's Spreader. Right.
It's fancy seeing you two here.
Hey, buddy.
Congratulations, guys, on your podiums. Fantastic job from all 3 of you.
Daddy won.
I think let's go with from the let's go from the 3rd place then. So Greta, great fight back actually to pick up P3 because you dropped down I think to 10th at one point at the start. So nice recovery, mate.
Thanks. Yeah, it was weird. I didn't get any gantry, any lights at the start. I could only see the gantry lights like a proper F1 driver, and it proper put me off. So, yeah, I dropped the back quite far back, and then I was coming through. Had some good battles. Frozen as well. It was a really good battle, and then I've just mistimed my move at Spread at the end. I think if I'd have gone a lap before, I maybe could have got him, but yeah, I think it would have been close. It was still a really good race, good battle.
Yeah.
GG's to Massey for taking them soft so long. I thought they'd be dead a lot before that.
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that you 2 were fighting for P2 helped a bit as well. But yeah, I saw from Michael J at the start of the race that his softs went off after 7 laps. So I thought it was going to be a bit close. But yeah, well done on 3rd, mate. Spreader for P2. I thought you were going to win the race. I'm not going to lie. Before the safety card come out, I noticed you were saving your ERS, whereas Massey had been using his, and I thought you were probably waiting for an overcut, maybe. From your side, was it the safety car's fault?
Yeah and no. I mean, it's always nice to have the safety car, but it did wreck the strategy. And we got off the line really well. Hambo had a bit of a nightmare today, so that was a problem we didn't have to deal with today. But yeah, I was sat behind Matthew. I was quite happy to sit behind him. I was waiting for him to pit. I'd saved the ERS, and I was just going to absolutely drain the ERS on the lap he pitted.
Yeah.
Try and go for the overcut, and then obviously his tyres would be a bit warmer. But hopefully I could have, because I did it in another race and pulled like 4 seconds of a gap.
Yeah.
And then they only closed me in by 2 because I can warm the tyres up and get them switched on pretty well, as it turns out. So yeah, that was the plan, but no, GG's to Matthew. That was a good race, and me and Grazer, I was just straight watching him climb on top back of me at the end there. I just didn't want that either. I was like, no.
Yeah, what's your secret on restart? Because you're dropping me. I can't warm the bloody tyres up or anything. I don't know what's going on.
It was just I don't know. It's just a rigorous heat warming. That's all I do. Swerving, burnout, just keep dropping it to first and spinning the rears up as well. Try and slam your brakes on earlier in the lap, so there's plenty of heat in your brakes. I don't know. It's just trying to, it's best thing that happened to it. Trying to keep temperatures in it. It seems easy for me.
Right, Massey, congratulations.
Hello.
buddy. I'm glad to be saying congratulations on the race win tonight after the other night. So, congratulations to you. And, well, from your side, did you know what Spreader was doing on that first
I had an
stint?
idea because I was doing the same thing. So we were just waiting for each other to pit. So I think we were going to push each other all the way to sort of Albon
Final lap.
territory and just not pit. So I was quite grateful the safety car came out because I knew everyone would pit then. So, and I just gambled on the softs. And then the last safety car, I think that's what did it because at that point I thought, well, I know this should go to the end now. Whereas before I was a bit optimistic.
Yeah.
But that last safety car just gave me a couple of laps of respite so that they would last. The last lap was a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
I think that was the point where they were hitting the cliff. But no, it was the first 17 laps was sweaty. It wouldn't leave me alone. But yeah, I enjoyed that because I think it's the first time I've got a Grand Slam. So yeah, I'll take that every day of the week. And
Nice.
I tried to do a Schumacher-style start, position my car to point at Hambo, cut straight across to block him off. I quite like this new way of doing the formation laps because you can position your car at the start.
Oh, you can. I can't because I keep missing the grid slot.
Yeah, no, it was a good sort of mental battle with Spread, and then, like I said, it was just a case of you got the strategy right in the end, and thankfully that safety car just allowed me to keep that 2-second gap.
There's a few things on the last lap. I feel really sorry for Gumba. He made an overtake to get up to P4 and then spun and ended up 11th on the last lap. So, a bit sorry for him. But who did I say then? Did I say Gumba then? Pajala made an overtake, then spun it. Ended up P11. But Gumba's finished P4 from way back on
I
the
saw
grid.
that.
And,
That's a great result.
Yeah, and Fatal Defiance as well, finishing P5 on the first safety car. He was down in second last at that point, so it was, the great finishes there. But I think you're going to have a few things to look at, without a doubt. I don't want to mention anything on stream, but the second safety car was caused by a rage quit.
I think the first one was as well. But yeah, we'll sort it.
Yeah. No worries. All right, guys. Well, congratulations to you and to... I got to give Gumba driver of the day for P4. I don't think I can... It's either him or Fatal Defiance. They both deserve it, but Gumba this time, I think. So congratulations to him as well. Other than that, guys, thank you to everyone that's tuned in to watch. Viewers have been up and down. We've had some good views, though. Thanks to everyone that tunes in afterward or at a later point to watch it back. It's all really appreciated. A shout out to Maytex on the chat as well, who's done a load of subscriptions. And hand them out to different people, so if you're lucky you might be one of them. Yeah, excellent. Thanks very much then, guys. We'll be back next week for where is it, Greza? Is it Spain?
Spain?
I think it's Spain.
Could be Spain.
It's all. Yeah, so we'll be back same time, 8:30 next week for Spain. Excellent. Thanks everybody then, and I'll see you next time.